What the hell is going on in these space battles?
Yeah.
Wait, our subspaces are merging. What?
Incredibly unhealthy,
but it is very crunchy. Mari Krombu Weebs, my name is Cole, his name is Mike, his name is Jay, we like anime, and this is episode 53 of the Anime Protagonist Podcast, and this week we are reviewing the most anticipated review we've ever done, by far, Crest of the Stars, as we dive into what may be the greatest space opera ever told. Star Wars, eat your heart out. And we also touch on the state of the Pokemon world. But before we get into either of those, Michael, you have a crunchy snack with you. Please do not eat it. What's on your mind, though? Tell me about it.
On my mind this week is the carrot I'm about to take a bite of. Watch it, Cole. I'm eating this. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to eat the carrot. I brought a carrot onto the podcast just to bug Cole. He hates when I eat on the podcast, and I thought...
Yeah. Why would you eat on... Cole hates when I eat on the podcast. Yeah, because it's an audio medium. You're eating.
I don't know. I think it's great hearing someone crunch and chew right in the inside of your eardrum. I mean,
hey, some people are into that. There's a whole subgenre of people just listening to people bite into crunchy food.
That's true. Yeah. Do that on your OnlyFans, Michael.
No, it's on my Only Crunch. Yeah.
So crunchy.
What's actually on my mind, though, this week is the saga of my air fryer that I just experienced trying to make supper before this podcast. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I am really going to miss that air fryer.
Yeah, I went to go...
Good snacks out of there.
Yeah, some egg rolls out of there, some pizza pops.
I learned about it today.
Yeah, didn't even know I had it, but no. I went to go make my supper, and all of a sudden I heard like a loud click. I'm like, what the hell was that? And then I go and look, and the air fryer's turned off. I go to hit the turn it on, back on button, and the thing was dead.
You know, so the turn it on, back on button?
Well, there's an on button.
Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in?
Jay, I'm gonna kick your butt. Yes, of course I did.
Look, I just need to touch all the bases, okay?
Listen. Classic IT response. Did you try turning it off and on again?
Is there anything? You know what the worst part about that response is too?
It usually works.
It's the best thing to do, and it honestly usually works.
Yeah.
But it's also whenever you if you are someone who knows how to fix stuff, you're kind of tech savvy, you've already tried that, and it's the most infuriating question to get asked because it's of course I've done that.
Yeah, but it's the generic response. They got to they got to touch all the bases because
they have to assume the lowest common denominator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is most people will just say yeah, and then they didn't actually.
Yeah. It's think about your mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What would your mom do?
I saw a meme the other day where it was an IT person talking, and they were saying, yeah, my go-to thing is I'll ask them what color the prongs on the plug are. That way I know they've actually turned it on and off again. And I'm like, that's actually genius. That's very smart.
Very clever.
That is very clever.
But back to the topic of my air fryer.
Oh, the thing. Sorry. I was trying to distract you from your pain.
No, I've recovered because as I was heating up my wedges in the oven, at 425 on roast setting, just so you guys know.
Oh, you didn't blaze it? You didn't blaze them in the oven?
420, blaze it.
Yeah.
No. 425. Convection roast. As you do.
As you do, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're roasting away, taking longer, because it's a regular oven and not an air fryer. And I look at my air fryer and I'm like, I'm going to try you again. I'm going to see what happens. I plug it back in, because I did unplug it, Jay. I plug it back in and I hear the familiar beep, beep of it powering on, and then I hit the power button and it works perfectly, flawlessly.
As if there was never a problem. I will say I did hear this beep beep before recording. I also heard many other beep beeps from Michael's house. It was, Jay, this was before you got onto the recording. It was insane. It sounded like Michael's house was about to take off. Just alarms and
yeah. I made the reference to Cole that it was like the coffin in episode 13 of the show that we just watched.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's pretty vague. And then the air fryer started working again, but there was a distinct smell of burning plastic.
Delicious.
Seasoning my food, so we'll see.
Did you taste it?
No, I just breathed it a little bit. It's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Put Puts hair on your knuckles.
Exactly. You need some burning plastic in your system sometimes.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah. Small doses, right? Small doses of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of tiny little doses, Jay, what's on your mind?
You know what? We're getting into holiday season. I've just been thinking about the fact that we are ever so closely approaching the end of the year. I mean,
I'm glad you added the year to that.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to say we're ever so closely approaching the end.
I mean that too, but we're going to disregard that. But like, are you guys excited for Christmas?
Listen, as a good Catholic boy, I'm very excited for Christmas.
Yes. I love Christmas.
I do actually like Christmas. I do very much. I enjoy Christmas because I get to eat like good food for once once a year. I get to eat very good food, and I get presents, which I'm not gonna say no to that.
Yeah. I mean, why would you?
I don't get presents anymore. It's sad. It hurts my heart, but I still get good food. You don't get
presents anymore?
You get our presents. Because we're here right now.
Oh, Michael.
Is that a gift, though? No, you know what? My parents, just in the last little bit, since my sister started having children, basically said, you know what? The presents are for the children. You are older than 25. We're going to stop that.
Disown your parents.
I get a stocking every year now, and then that's about it. And then a little bit of cash, and it's like, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, you get some cash.
Yeah. You get cash.
That's explicitly what I asked for this year was cash. I said, just give me cash. I got a trip coming up.
You're going somewhere. You're going to Japan. Nippon, as the locals call it.
Yes.
You said there was a Bump of Chicken concert happening in Japan at the time, right? That's exciting.
I know. I got to figure out how to like buy tickets on Japanese ticket places.
Ticketmaster?
Because I mean, come on, like Bump of Chicken.
Go on the street.
That's your favorite band.
It goes Rush. Rush is done, and I've seen them enough. Then Bump of Chicken. Like, I gotta go see them. I have to.
Yeah. You simply must.
And like in Japan, like, come on.
Where else would I see them? Toronto?
I don't know. Maybe
Japanese
they'll
concerts
go to
are insane too.
Yeah.
I know. It'd be so fun.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool.
But this is actually Jay's what's on his mind.
Yeah.
Not yours, Cole.
Yeah.
No. I just want to have a discussion with my boys about what they're doing for the next while. I don't know. I haven't spoken to you guys in a while.
It has been a long
I wasn't
time.
on last episode, so, I'm catching up.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Welcome back, Jay.
Thank you. But yeah, no, like, I mean, do you guys have family gatherings for Christmas?
I have far too many family gatherings.
Way too many.
I have one coming up. I think it was this weekend that this episode came out on.
Okay. I think, as of recording, I think the three of us are getting together for our Christmas, in quotation marks, gathering. Next weekend, I got my work Christmas party. Then the weekend after that is my birthday weekend, which I expect big things from you too. Thank you. And then the weekend after that, I've got my stepmom's Christmas, then my mom's Christmas, then my father's family's Christmas, and each one is an hour apart. So I have to drive all over the province that we live in. It will be lots and lots of fun for me.
Let me introduce you to a strategy that me and my wife have discovered.
Just don't go.
Saying no to things.
Yeah. I know. I complain, but I do. I enjoy seeing my family. I don't see my family often enough.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But like sometimes it's like, you know what? I'd rather not spend 3 of the 10 hours I spend on Christmas with people driving. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just basically say, you know what? Next year I'll go to yours. I'll spend more time with these people this year. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, you're a functioning adult who wasn't raised with the guilt that my mom likes to use.
Oh, guilt is strong.
Guilt is very strong.
Guilt is very strong. If I said that to my mom, oof.
What, you don't love her, Cole? You know she birthed you, right?
I am well aware, and I ask her why.
What about Jay? Do you have lots of festivities coming up?
Well, I do have the Christmas Anipro party that we're gonna be doing sometime soon, and then I also have a family gathering coming up, and I'm very excited for that. I actually I learned this recently. Not everyone likes seeing their family.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like, I am very lucky, and as cliche as it is, I am blessed to get along with my family.
Yeah, like I feel the same, Cole. my mom's side specifically, like our whole family, we love seeing each other, and we always like say like we really need to get together more often.
Yeah, and then never see them again until the next year. Yeah.
The next holiday. Yeah.
No,
but no, like I'm very excited to be able to see them again because it's always yeah.
Y'all need more toxic relatives in your life.
No, don't worry. I got some.
Oh,
don't you worry.
Yeah, don't worry. There's some toxic relatives.
There are some toxic relatives in my family.
The thing is, I only have to see them like a couple times a year.
That's the thing is there's people you can tolerate once a year, and it's like
yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of people we can tolerate, Cole, what's on your mind?
Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Welcome back, Jay. I was going to say I missed you, but now I'm second-guessing myself. Listen, I have a very...
Let's not go that far.
Yeah, I have a very important announcement to make. This is a very controversial opinion, and I just want everybody to understand that what I'm about to say may alienate many of you, but I stand by it.
Depending on what you say in the next few seconds, this podcast may very well end, Cole. So...
Oh, no.
Well, dear listeners, my co-hosts, hummus is better than guacamole. I'm sick and tired of people saying that guacamole is a superior topping? Dip? Guacamole sucks.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far.
It sucks.
No. You know what? Cole? Yeah, guacamole sucks. I'm here with you.
Yeah, guacamole is simply bad.
I'm not a guacamole fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I wouldn't say it's awful or bad. It's just not the god condiment that you put on everything.
Listen,
so
what can you use guacamole with? What do you dip guacamole?
Chips.
And?
That's it. Chips. Yeah. Or you put it on like a burrito bowl or a burrito or something.
Mm-hmm. Hummus?
Pretty much it.
You got chips. You got pretzels. You can put hummus on a sandwich. Hummus on a sandwich, low-key underrated. So good.
Yep.
You can put hummus in falafel.
Yeah, put it in
so
falafel.
Good.
Falafel is basically our deep fried hummus.
It's deep fried chickpeas, isn't it?
Yeah, but hummus is literally just chickpeas.
Yeah.
My wife makes a mean hummus.
Well, Shazana, I expect hummus for my birthday in a couple weeks, and I know you'll never hear this message.
Speaking of your birthday, Cole, I have an idea for a gift to give you.
Well, why don't you tell me?
It's one of these.
We flipped him the bird, as he deserves.
Of course. Yeah. Well, hey, that's
what you would do for us.
That's what you're getting this year. Hummus is underrated. Guacamole is overrated. That's what I'll say.
I'd say guac is definitely overrated. I feel like hummus is properly rated.
No, hummus.
I don't hear people saying hummus is like the best ever. I don't see hummus on the menu at Subway. I don't see them throwing it on trendy. You know what I mean? It's properly rated. If anything, maybe a little underrated. Maybe a little bit.
Hummus should be more readily available in things that aren't either a pack of hummus, a hummus in a pack,
in a container.
Yes, thank you, Jay. Or hummus served with a little container and hummus with pretzels. Whereas guacamole, you go everywhere and it's like, do you want guacamole on your burrito? No, I don't.
Well, I mean, I do, but it's going to cost me $2.60.
It's an extra $1 for what?
Hold on, Mike. So if you were to have chips
like
at a party,
sour cream.
If you put both, are you about to ask if you put both in front of me, what I'm dipping in?
Yeah.
If is it the tortilla chip? I have a tortilla chip in my hand, and I'm looking at the table.
Yeah.
In front of me is a bowl of hummus.
A bowl of hummus and a bowl of guacamole.
You know what?
And then also a bowl of salsa. Let's throw salsa in there.
I was just going to ask if salsa is also on the table, because I'm definitely going for the salsa. If the salsa is not on the table, I'm going for the guacamole.
No.
Guacamole's not on the table, I'm going for the hummus.
You're going to say I'm just going to eat it raw?
Probably. Actually, I wouldn't dip a Tostito chip into a hummus, actually. I'd reach for the carrots, because there's probably carrots somewhere.
No, you got a cracker. A nice crispy cracker, and you got guacamole, or you got hummus.
Nice wheat thin?
Yes.
Okay. I have a cracker.
You have a cracker.
And my choices are guac or hummus on my cracker?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going hummus.
Or you have a spoon.
I have a spoon?
You have a spoon, and you have to eat a mouthful of either hummus or guacamole.
Why am I in this punishment? Why am I the one deciding? I choose to not to do either because
no.
Is this the new cinnamon challenge? Eating a spoonful of guac or a spoonful of hummus?
If you had a gun to my head, which Cole definitely would because he's a very angry man, I will choose the hummus. I will have a spoonful of hummus in my mouth because you know what? Guac has kind of a strange texture to it a little bit. Yeah. It's a little slimy.
Mm-hmm. That's why I don't like it. The texture's gross.
I think
but you also don't like hummus either though, right?
That is true, but like I said before we started recording, I haven't had hummus in like years.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Hummus,
so, like, maybe I'll like it if I try it again. I don't know.
Hummus is full of flavor. Guacamole is lazy. And you know what? Guacamole is like lame sour cream.
Do you like sour cream?
I do like sour cream.
Who doesn't like sour cream?
We were about to have a fight.
No,
sour cream, God tier.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, absolutely. Sour cream's...
I'm from insert province we live in. Of
Yeah,
course
exactly.
I like sour cream.
No. You go anywhere in the world, people like sour cream. I was in Mexico, and they have better sour cream than us, and it's amazing.
Oh, I believe that, yeah.
Sour cream's an amazing condiment.
Mm-hmm. It really is. Speaking of amazing condiments, man, I'm really good at segues. What do you guys say we talk about everyone's favorite condiment of video games, Pokemon?
In the game corner?
The game corner.
Welcome to the game corner.
This is kind of the game corner, I guess. Kind of.
No, it's game corner. It's gaming related.
Yeah, it's related to gaming. I mean, it's encompassing all of Pokemon, but the games are there.
Games, anime. You know, this is an anime podcast.
I thought we were just talking the games, actually, when you pitched this idea.
Well, my idea when I pitched this idea was kind of like... Ash what did he do? He just became
the world champion, so he's the strongest trainer in the world.
Yeah.
He was previously the Alola champion, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the first time he'd ever won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like that happened, and you know, the game just came out and there was some controversies around Violet and Scarlet.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, you know, maybe it's time that we had a discussion about Pokemon and the state that it's in. Is it in a good state? Is it in a bad state? I don't know. Let's discuss.
Cole, I guess first thing I want to ask you, have you beaten Pokemon Violet?
Jay, I don't beat games. I simply play them until I'm about to beat them, and then I stop. That's what I do.
Because he doesn't like things ending.
I am a coward. No, I don't know. I kind of burn myself out. Like, I get you guys know this. The listeners know this. I get hyperfixated on things, and then I've beaten all the gyms. I've beaten all of the bad guys and all of the
Team
mythical
Star
beasts.
and the Titans.
Yeah, I just have to like do the last part of each one of those stories.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's where I'm at, and that's probably as far as I'll go.
Honestly, Cole, if you do ever decide to beat the game, the ending is so good.
I've heard that. Yeah,
he'll never know.
It's wild.
I'll look it up on YouTube.
I mean, you could. Mike, you got Pokemon the double pack, right?
Oh, I got the double pack. And me and Shazana had a little discussion.
Okay.
Basically what I do when we get Pokemon games, I get the double pack and I say to her, I'm like, okay, here's the exclusives. Here's everything that you get in each version. Figure out which one you want and I'll take the other one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was kind of eyeing it up and I was like, you know what? I kind of want Scarlet. Just for like no real reason. I was just like, I kind of like the vibe of it a little bit better, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden she's saying, you know, I kind of want Scarlet because the mythical guy that you ride on, instead of being like a cool motorcycle, he's like boop, 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 boop. And he's like walking with those big derpy legs. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dang, that's actually a really good argument. But I don't want you to pick that one. So I like continued showing her things, hoping to find something that she wouldn't like about Scarlet and that she would like about Violet. And then I stumbled on it. Do you know what it was that eventually decided it for her?
What's that?
What? Purple?
She doesn't like the outfits in Scarlet. She likes the Violet outfits better.
The Violet outfits are better.
Yeah. Well, it's the same outfit, just different color.
I know, but the purple's...
purple
is better.
It is better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a better look.
The orange is so tacky.
Yeah. And then I also convinced her too because I said, hey, look, the professor's a hunk in Violet.
People were making memes that that's just Giga Chad. That's what they modeled him after.
Yeah.
He is a hunk.
He is a hunk.
Yeah.
And then, she picked Violet and I was happy and I got the derpy motorcycle guy.
Derp.
Yeah.
How far are you?
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't ask that question. I haven't even made it to the school yet. I have had like no time to play it, honestly.
Michael,
I picked my starter.
Michael, I know what you do at work. You're telling me you haven't played that at work?
I've been pretty busy at work, actually, to be entirely honest with you.
Work on the podcast?
For the first time in your entire career there, you've actually been busy at work.
Yeah, because I've been like volunteering for union stuff, and like I'm like de facto president of our union now because no one else wants to do it.
Yeah.
So, and we're doing this big pension talk, so people keep coming up to me and like asking me things, and I have to actually do stuff. It sucks.
Yeah.
Translation, Mike's like, how can I avoid playing Pokemon Scarlet without sounding like a bad guy?
No.
I know.
Why would you avoid playing this game? Let's discuss the controversy surrounding Pokemon Scarlet.
Thank you for bringing it back, Cole. Thank you for bringing it back.
Yes, that's what I do. Did you guys have any major issues playing the game?
I had I had that issue where like during battle the camera would like pan underneath the ground.
Yeah, I've had that a few times. They really got to work on the camera angles for the battles. The battle
they need to just zoom out on it a bit or something.
Yeah.
Because like you control it with the right stick, right?
You can.
Yeah.
And then if you do R3, it'll lock it in place, and that's what I end up doing.
Okay.
But I don't know why that's not the default. And then if you choose, you can move the camera around. It's just kind of a bizarre camera system they got going.
The whole game just kind of reeks of like they decided to make a new engine. And this is just like the problems that come with that, where it's like it's going to be super buggy for like a year.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, honestly, it's buggy. But most of the bugs are kind of goofy and a little funny to me. They're not like game breaking. I've had a couple crashes, frankly, but only
I
two.
haven't yet. I haven't yet either. The only time I've experienced any crashes is when I'm playing with friends and my friends crashed.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just have an older Switch or something. Mine's a refurbished one, so maybe it's old.
I mean, I got one of the like first models. Like mine
maybe mine's newer. I don't know. Maybe Jay's is super powered.
It might come down to your SD card, believe it or not.
Maybe
because before I had the game, I was kind of Googling like, or I forget what I saw. I saw it was like a TikTok maybe where someone said you can fix it by moving the game from your SD card to your system memory and by turning off autosave.
Oh, okay.
And those two things like drastically improve it. And honestly, I didn't have any really major glitches or like it instantly was way better. Like, you know, when you see people like in the distance and they're like all choppy.
Yeah. The frame rate on like the distant people is really poor.
Yeah.
The main things that I had were, frame rate drops. The people in the distance are all super choppy. I haven't had any really of the fun glitches, like, you know, when you like go to catch something and it just turns into a little tiny Pokemon.
I like the ones where it's like you're like walking and then all of a sudden like a fellow trainer just gets like super long boy.
I haven't had any of those. Those seem fun.
I have had one actually where I'd run into a Pokemon that's inside a wall. Yeah. So like I wouldn't even know it's there, and then like just suddenly, I'm in a Pokemon battle now against a wall.
Yeah. Classic.
Against a rock.
I think it'll probably be fixed in like a year.
That's what I was getting at. Like you said, it's a new engine. Like these issues will be fixed. They're just bugs.
Yeah.
The game isn't broken. It's just not
done.
I mean, what does that say more about the whole gaming industry itself?
Yeah,
but I mean, hey, I got No Man's Sky when it first came out. And I've played Cyberpunk. Like, I'm well versed in games that aren't complete. And then, hey, like, No Man's Sky now is like an incredible game. Like, Pokemon will be fine. This game will be fine in like 6 months.
Have you guys gotten a glitch where like at every entrance, no matter where it is, but like every map transition, there'll just be a Pokeball model just on the ground?
I've had that
right in front of the doorway.
I've had that once in one of the caves when I fought a Titan. And it was the last Titan, and I thought, ooh, I'm getting some kind of like Pokemon now. But it was just a ball sitting on the ground. That was the only time that's
right?
happened. Yeah. I'm like, what am I getting? And then I tried going back into the cave, but then you can't.
Yeah.
So that Pokeball will forever remain a mystery to me.
I think it's just a texture glitch or something.
Yeah.
A little bit of context here, just something maybe to debate about since we're talking about the state of Pokemon. For some context, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, lifetime sold 2.5 million.
Yep.
I don't remember what's Sword and Shield is. I think it's like 12 million, maybe something like that. So far, Scarlet and Violet, as of the 18th of November, has sold 3.1 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, no, that's when it released. Sorry.
Yeah.
So far, as of this week, it sold 3.1 million copies.
It was it was Nintendo's biggest launch. I think it did so much in 3 days.
Yeah. So despite the bugs and everyone kind of I don't want to say complaining about it, but complaining about it in a isn't this stupid kind of way?
Yeah, it's
which
goofy.
Seems to be the vibe. Yeah. It's still doing really well.
You know what? And honestly, the way, again, the state of Pokemon itself, the way that Pokemon has been, they've been releasing the same game every 3 years for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
And for them to take such a drastic leap, I mean, I got to give them nothing but props here.
Yeah.
That's very, very brave of them to do something like that. And I think, despite the bugs, I think that that's something we should really be looking for. We shouldn't be punishing them for doing something,
for trying something
ambitious.
new. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and at the same time, people have been wanting an open world Pokemon game for how long?
I wanted it since back when I was playing Pokemon Silver and Gold.
Exactly. So if I don't want people or the Pokemon company to see all these complaints and people be oh, this sucks, and then them be okay, well, I guess they don't want an open world Pokemon game. Time to go back to what it was before.
Yeah. I remember when I was playing games on my Game Boy Color and Advance and stuff, I'd be wouldn't that be awesome if this was 3D and you could run around and you could see all the Pokemon there playing in the water or playing in the grass and you could just see them and you're running around and you could go wherever you want.
Yeah.
And that's what this game is.
Yeah. Imagine being able to travel back in time, Michael, and showing yourself the 6-year-old you this game.
Oh, he'd go crazy. He'd bust a nut.
He'd poop his pants.
He'd poop himself. Yeah.
Unrelated to the Pokemon game.
You did say Pokemon hasn't really changed anything in 25 years, and I don't think that's expressly true.
Here we go. Yes, it is.
Ever since Pokemon Sun and Moon...
You're just eating the hype.
Ever since Pokemon Sun and Moon, they have been kind of trying to innovate. This is the most drastic one for sure, because they actually finally were able to accomplish the long mission, right?
I don't even think it's that drastic, though, because they've kind of been slowly working toward there. Look at Sword and Shield. They had the wild area, which was the big open area. And then Legends Arceus kind of expanded upon that idea with the different areas that were all open. And then finally we get here, which is a complete open map. So there was clear progression.
It's a culmination for sure.
Exactly.
But the only thing that disappoints me a little bit here, and because I've been watching Shazana play Breath of the Wild now for a couple weeks, she's been obsessively playing this game.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
That game is 6 years old at this point.
Yeah.
And it looks better than this one.
That's so
I know it's kind
unfair.
of is it though?
I mean, yeah, but Breath of the Wild is held up as one of the best games of all time. In my opinion, this is the best game of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you compare, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a movie comparison, Guardians of the Galaxy versus
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say Citizen Kane, but that's kind of a boring movie.
Yeah, that's lame. A better example maybe is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Jay's been playing it. It looks miles better than this. You know what I mean? I think they deserve criticism for a game that is...
Okay.
The bugginess I can look aside,
yeah.
But the fact that the game looks this crappily, and if the reason it looks bad is because they didn't design their engine efficient enough to have the graphics maximized, right?
Yeah.
I'll listen to that complaint. I guess my issue was Breath of the Wild. It's come on.
No,
I wouldn't compare half of the games that come out today with Breath of the Wild. Period.
But Breath of the Wild's a great game because of the gameplay, right? People don't go to it because it's the most beautiful game. It is a beautiful game.
That's kind of how I feel. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about Scarlet and Violet, right? I honestly don't care too much that it doesn't look as good as it could be. Obviously, if it did look better, I'd be happy. But, am I going to be man, this game looks bad, so I'm not going to play it?
No. I don't know. Pokemon 2, you've never played a Pokemon game for, graphic fidelity.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. I'm a lifetime Nintendo fan.
Yeah, you're not going to go to a Switch game for graphic fidelity, really.
Yeah, that's not what you're here for. That's what Nintendo's for, right?
Yeah, go play your game on your PS5.
Yeah, go play your PS5, Jay.
Or PC.
Go play your
PC,
Jay.
Master Race.
Yeah. What else do we want to talk about? Ash.
Anime. Yeah, Ash.
Yeah. I mean,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
End of topic?
Yeah, and the break.
No.
No, I think we've really dug into the game here, and I think that's kind of the main thing that we wanted to talk about. I mean, congratulations to Ash Ketchum, world champion Pokemon trainer.
Have you seen the episode where he fought Leon?
I just saw the clip of him actually beating Leon, and I was like, oh, that's hype. That's like some of the best anime. It's like one of the most hype things I've seen lately.
It's crazy animation. Like the animation, they went in on that episode when he actually won. It was so hype because there was so much fan service for no matter what time you started watching the anime. Yeah. There was something there for you. It played music from like the first OP of the Japanese anime, which is so cool.
They played the I wanna be the very best. There's your weekly episode, or me singing on the episode.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah. They played like the original theme song like in the background as he was beating him, and I was like, oh, this is really cool.
They had him like turn his hat around like he did back in the 90s. Like, so much fan service, so much love put into it, effort for the animation, and like it was just so cool. So like him winning was great, but like the actual episode that had him do it was really cool too.
Listen, as a child of the 90s who was obsessed with the Pokemon anime, I think I need to watch this.
How have you not watched it already? What the heck? You're
Cole,
Mr.
you need
Nostalgia.
to do it.
Yeah.
There's stuff that's in there that I haven't even said yet, but like I'm not going to say it because you need to see it yourself.
Yeah. It's really hype.
I got to go watch it, I think. You know me though, like I'm such a idiot. I haven't watched it.
Honestly, like I remember when the episode came out, I watched it and I was like, this like might be one of the best animated things this season.
Well, I mean, like last season, the Pokemon music video, the Bump a Chicken one, was like one of the best animated things. So.
Yeah, that is true.
Pokemon likes flexing every now and then.
I like that though. I like that they kind of sometimes just like, hey, we're one of the biggest franchises in the world for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got this, guys. Yeah. But then sometimes they also totally just like let you down too.
Yeah. They pull an All Might. Sometimes they're like, I am here, and then other times they're just like Toshinori.
Wimpy. Yeah, they're just wimpy. Dying All Might.
Yeah.
The other thing too, I think we should quickly talk about is the Pokemon trading card game.
Oh.
Okay.
Except that none of us know anything about it. So
yeah, I mean,
let's just go back to the anime.
Yeah, Pokemon cards are fun.
Yeah, I like collecting them.
We actually do. I do have something that I want to talk about. A lot of people were wondering what was going to happen because Ash is now the champion. So what's going to, like, is he going to be coming back? And they announced that he is going to be returning for the Scarlet and Violet anime, which I mean, like,
you're not getting rid of them.
Yeah.
I think, can I take a guess before you say anything else?
Yeah.
I think what they've been doing, because they had him win the Alola League, and then they had him win this. Now he's world champ. I think they're going to transition into more of like a mentorship role. He's going to be not the main guy, maybe. Like maybe he'll be in almost every episode, you know what I mean? But like the main guy is going to be going forward, I think.
I kind of understand where you're going, but I think what's going to happen is something that happens in the games, but I don't know if I want to spoil it. But
are you speaking specifically Scarlet and Violet or every Pokemon game ever?
Oh, no. Scarlet and Violet.
Okay, then yeah, don't spoil it.
But it would benefit from the fact that Ash is already champion and that. And honestly, I don't want him to be reset to like where he was before he became champion or whatever.
I don't think he will be. He's never been reset though, right?
No, it's been a continuation. It's always been
ongoing. Yes and no, because he's always 10.
Well, that's just... Here's the thing. Ash was supposed to represent the 10-year-old watching the anime, because that's what the anime's for, right?
Yeah.
But now I think the Pokemon Company, after 25 years, has finally realized, hey, wait a minute. The people who watched him when he was 10 years old are now in their 30s. Maybe we should make him a little more grown up.
Yeah.
Maybe we got a time skip coming up.
Oh, that would be interesting.
That would actually be kind of cool.
I could see that, where like all of a sudden Ash is, brace yourselves, 16.
Oh!
And then all of a sudden, like he's, like I said, like a mentor role, and like he's kind of like the not grown up, but like the more mature
he's all washed
character.
Up and haggard.
he's got cigarettes hanging out of his mouth.
He's got a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see it, but I could also see them also just continuing on too. They've always done.
I would laugh if he goes back to school again, because he was at school in the Sun and Moon anime, and Scarlet and Violet is centered around a school.
It is set in a school.
Yeah. So he's gonna go back to school.
He's going back to school for sure.
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
What if he becomes a teacher?
What if he's a teacher? Yeah. What if he's a techer?
Well, what if?
We'll
never find out.
We'll never know for another year.
I need to go and watch that Pokemon battle, I think.
Maybe what we'll do is when we go to the break, maybe we'll film a little reaction video.
Maybe. But what if we went to that break?
But what if we asked a question before we went to the break? What if we asked a
question before the break?
And what if before we asked the question, we went deep diving into my mailbag?
Oh.
It's time for the mailbag.
Okay.
You're saying okay, but the music's already playing, so we're already in the bag, guys.
We're deep in here.
So deep in here as I scroll to find the question that has not been answered already. Did I tell you guys, or I guess not, but Nug Deep actually personally messaged me today saying we better read his question today on the episode. And you know what I told him?
No.
I said, Nug Deep, we're prioritizing people who actually listen to the episode.
Well,
yeah. All right. Okay, here's the last one we asked. What's a show you want more people to talk about? So the next one is from Opie Master Ash, and they want to know, what's the most hyped anime that you absolutely hated? This is like a question tailored to us because we're a bunch of haters.
Yeah,
so an anime that was hyped up to you that you hated, and why is it? Crest of the Snow. I'm kidding.
That I absolutely hated.
Yeah.
I don't hate anime. I just feel lukewarm about some things, you know?
Something I absolutely hated. That's a tough one. I'm not much of a hater for the most part. Like Jay said, I kind of just feel like towards things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Classroom of the Elite for me.
Okay.
Like I know Jay really likes it, and I watched it, and it was.
You wanted to barf?
I wanted to not watch it anymore.
You wanted to watch Isekai Quartet.
I wanted to.
I mean,
so I literally did that. Yeah. I like the easy answer for me, but it's more of a meme answer, would be One Piece. But I honestly I don't have strong opinions one way or the other for One Piece because I haven't actually watched it.
Yeah.
I actually have a good answer.
But I'll say Classroom of the Elite.
I'm going to say Yasha Hime. I was so hyped to watch that show as an Inuyasha fan. Man, was it bad.
Right.
Yeah.
If you know, that came out.
If you know, you know. There's no redeeming qualities there. Other than the first episode, which is just basically a throwback episode and before the show actually starts.
Yeah.
That was nice. And then it went into the show and it was like, oh, this sucks. Yeah. Jay, what about you?
I have an answer, but I don't want to get roasted alive for this.
It's okay.
I feel like I will.
We'll be nice to you. We won't be mean to you.
Yeah. Can't make
you're gonna be mean. So this is a show that only has good animation, but that's it.
Okay.
And that's Demon Slayer.
Oh, Jay, you're destroyed. How could you say that? Gonna get roasted.
I'm surprised Cole didn't say his patented trademark D-Mid Slayer.
D-Mid Slayer.
I mean, hey, it's patented for a reason. D-Mid Slayer is the truth. It's a well animated show, but it's a typical shonen romp, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's a fun time, but
yeah,
it's nothing to write home. It's nothing to write home to your mother about.
Yeah. I wouldn't
get that.
Shout from the rooftops, hey, you need to watch Demon Slayer. Unless I were talking to an animation guru, then I'd probably tell them to watch Demon Slayer.
Or a newbie.
The first season of Demon Slayer, I kind of agree with you. It's like a mid 8 out of 10 to me. It's not the best thing ever, but it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
The second season's really freaking good, I would say.
I would say both seasons have their moments. Both seasons kind of hover around that 8. Yeah. 7.5, 8, and then all of a sudden it'll peak to a 9. And then
but the peaks are so high.
The peaks are so high, but it's just a slow simmer. I just
thought season 2 was paced a little better, but this is not the Demon Slayer podcast.
The D-Mid Slayer podcast?
Do we have a question before we head into our break?
Yes. Since we were talking about Pokemon earlier, let's ask, what is your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, there we go. Okay, how about we quick sound off as the music's swelling. Jay.
Suicune.
Michael.
Chandelure.
Okay, Cole. Mewtwo.
Okay.
Kind of
classic.
A geek. Yeah, classic Mewtwo.
Classic.
Yeah, let's go to an break and then we'll review Crest of the Stars. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Break.
Break.
I like that THX thing. Jay, please.
No.
Okay, Cole, shut up and let Jay re-intro. Let's go.
Hello there, humans. It is I, Jay. I have returned from my home okay, we're not going to do that again this week.
He has returned.
I have returned to help my friends review a space anime. Okay, this is probably getting a bit
Rejoice!
awkward. Rejoice, humans!
Rejoice, humans!
For I have descended upon you with a space opera anime, totally not because of any other reason related to my heritage. But we are going to be talking about Crest of the Stars. You know, my alien heritage.
Oh, yes. I thought you were talking about your other heritage. I was like, how does that have to do with any of this?
Jay's headphones are the color of his true skin.
Green.
Maybe that's on purpose, and they're not actually headphones.
Those are your ears?
So this was Jay's pick, Crest of the Stars.
So this was my pick, Crest of the Stars. You know how we do reviews. We talk about the OP, the ED, score, soundtrack, everything like that. And then we will give you basically do we think we would recommend it, who we would recommend it to, and then we'll give you a spoiler warning. That is your time to go watch the show or not, depending on if you want to or not. And then come back and listen to us talk some spoilers. That means plot and world building, characters, best boy, best girl, and then our ending thoughts and what character this anime would be.
Yes, but we're adding a new thing to this review, which I think we'll move forward with. I think we should predict what our co-hosts think of the show before we start a review.
Ooh, that could be spicy.
That is a good call.
Could be spicy. Cole. So I will heroically volunteer my thoughts first.
That's good, because I was going to volunteer you anyway.
Okay.
Perfect. Michael?
Hi.
I think you thought the show was slow and boring.
I'm hiding my reaction to your words.
Jay, I think you're fixated on Lafiel, and that's all he
That's
has.
it?
Basically all I'm going to say about that.
Jay?
Mike, what are your predictions?
Okay,
Yeah.
Mike, I think you thought that it was slow and boring, but the space was cool. And Cole, you adored the world building and everything surrounding it.
Interesting.
Are we really predictable?
Interesting.
I
thoughts.
think that Cole loves how retro how vintage looking the sci-fi is, because it's got that classic sci-fi with I don't know, just looks very old and retro, and he Jay, everything Jay said was true.
Yeah.
And then I think Jay just loves Lafiel a lot. And just the reason why he got us to watch this anime, and why he, instead of the other shows that are basically this anime but have big robots, is this is just literally Gundam, except instead of Gundam, you get space elves.
Girls. Imagine a future where we choose to become space elves.
Yeah.
That's basically the show.
That's the show.
Well, let's get started with this how we would normally start with it, with the OPs and the EDs. And boy, this show has an OP.
It has an
All
OP.
right.
I had one thought of this OP.
Go ahead.
So when I was first listening to the OP, I don't know why this came to my mind, but the song sounded like a terrible ripoff of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah. I got strong early Carl Sagan Cosmos vibes from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was talking about when I said vintage sci-fi. It reminded me of just the whole show kind of reminded me of Star Trek at times, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it did. The intro itself, like when I first saw it, this is not your typical anime intro.
No.
This is not your typical anime OP. But it really grew on me in the sense that it really solidifies the tone that they're going for. It's very space opera.
Yeah.
It's very cinematic.
Yeah.
Which is what I'll say about it. It's very opening credits to
A
space
movie.
opera movie.
Yeah, like you
It's
get from
not-
Star Wars or something.
Yeah, it's not an action-packed cool pop song. It's very orchestral images.
Orchestral.
Orchestral, thank you.
Yeah.
And then space images and stuff. It's unique, and it grew on me as the series progressed. I didn't skip it ever.
I'll agree with you. I honestly, the first time I watched it, I was like, what is this? And then the more you watch it and the more you dive into the show, the deeper you get, the more it fits. And it kind of is. It's a good song too. It's just not. It's not an OP song. This isn't making it on anyone's playlist.
No.
This is very score-ish.
But like you said, it
score.
fits the tone and it kind of sets your expectation for the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But you're not watching this one on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
There's not much to see.
There's no.
Let me just close that YouTube tab real quick.
It's honestly,
I doubt it.
It's more of a traditional Western OP, honestly, more than anything.
Yeah.
It kind of is just credits, opening credits.
Yeah. And I, spoilers, I guess, for how I thought of the show. When I watched season 2, it's the same thing.
It's
literally the same song with higher quality pictures.
I mean, it is a newer show, so that's fair.
They had more budget for pictures,
I guess,
for the slideshow.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh,
yeah, it's a
so a
slideshow.
guy goes up to the director. Look, the novel's selling better. You have more money.
Yeah.
What do you want?
You have $30 more dollars.
Up-res those pictures.
Yeah.
Can we get nicer pictures?
It reminded me of
fine.
X-Files opening, by the way. Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think of too.
Yeah, just images over a song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not a typical anime song.
How about the ED?
The ED was a bit more traditional, I'd say.
Yeah. It's the same thing as the opening, but it fits is usually what EDs are.
Yeah, it was more about the two leads, because it would go back and forth playing different pictures of Lafiel and Jinto's childhoods.
I liked that. It was you're getting to look through their old Polaroids in the family book. You know what I mean?
Michael, I'm sorry. I think you mean to say space Polaroids?
Sorry. No, because everything else in this show, it has a bizarre name that they never explain. It'd be not Polaroids, it'd be Pluntars, and then they just move on.
This show's world building is so cool.
I knew it!
They built a whole language for this show.
It's so cool.
Okay,
When was the last time?
Sorry,
We'll get into that later.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. It would be called something else.
They'd never tell you that's what it was. They're just when they're.
But you know what? Show me, don't tell me. Just you figure it out by context.
Yeah, exactly. You know what they're saying. But yeah, the ED was cool. I liked it. It was you're getting to look through their childhood pictures. I think they must be illustrations from either the concept art or from the novels, because they look a little different than the anime.
The novels don't have any pictures outside of the covers.
So it's got to be concept art then.
So I think it's concept art.
Jay, welcome to the world of not light novels.
No, they're still called light novels.
They are still called light novels, but Cole, I've read the Monogatari series that has no pictures.
Are
How
they
could
really?
you? They're light novels.
They're still
Legends
light
of the
novels.
book.
Legends of the Galactic Heroes aren't light novels. They're just novels.
No, they are
This is my
novels.
thing.
You're right, Cole. You are right,
Yeah.
because it's not on any list.
They're
The
just
novels
novels.
aren't on any list.
And if they're not on any list, then they're not light novels, Michael.
Okay, I just saw they were called novels. But anyway,
I want to get the novels.
yeah, they're really
Honestly,
nice books.
it looks
very nice.
gorgeous. I own I own Crest of the Stars. Banner of the Stars is a different series that's the sequel. And it's all one book, and it's hardcover and gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah. Mike, put a
Yes.
picture on screen for the people watching on YouTube.
I already did.
Thank you.
Since we're talking about visuals and stuff,
My birthday's coming up, by the way.
let's go into the formal visual section.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Yeah, in terms of visuals, as Michael said, I really like the retro style of it. When Jay recommended this one, I'm like, okay, cool. We're doing like an 80s like sci-fi anime, very like Robotech. And then I looked it up and it was made in 99.
Yeah.
I know. It looks older than it is.
It looks super old. And then I think of like Sailor Moon or like Cardcaptor Sakura that came out like a few years before these. And yeah, this one just, I don't know if it was like a specific choice that they made or if it was because it was Sunrise. But the show has a very retro look to it, a very like late 80s OVA look to it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird actually. Like it. But I kind of like it though. It just, when you're watching it, it really feels old.
Yeah.
Like it gives it that really, really deep retro vibe.
Yeah. There were some scenes where like it was playing like the scene with like a star background kind of like transparent on top, and that was kind of jarring to me. This is speaking as someone who doesn't normally watch like retro or space opera anime. So like that was a bit jarring to me, but like I feel like if you're used to that kind of thing, then it's whatever. I
didn't really know what they were going for with that sometimes. I was like, what are they trying to do?
Yeah.
Like just having like the stars transparent superimposed on top of what's going on.
Like I don't know if that was supposed to like imply depth to space or like
I don't know. There's some weird visual choices in the show. Like the faces in all the characters kind of looked a little wonky a lot of the time too. They had those weird chin line things going on.
I thought that was so weird too. Like sometimes they did, and then like sometimes they didn't.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why they look that way.
There was interesting character models that they were using, because sometimes the characters would be like, oh wow, like very like nice looking characters, and then like sometimes they'd be like, what the hell is that creature?
Yeah.
Even like the mains, like Lafiel or whatever.
And
Lafiel would sometimes look like a
creature
weird
out of the abyss.
Potato.
Yeah, and like
with pointy ears.
It's true.
And then other times she'd be like, oh wow, beautiful.
She's so pretty.
Yeah.
Elf girl. Literally when I was watching it, Shazana pointed out the TV when like on one of the thumbnails, it was like the thumbnail for episode 13, and it's like, she looks like a creature, and she's like, what's going on with their face? Why does she look like that? And then meanwhile you're watching this show and they're just, everyone's telling you how beautiful she is, and you're like, that creature, what? And then she'll look beautiful for a bit, and you're like, oh okay,
okay, I get it. Oh no, wait, she is a literal thing from the lagoon.
Yeah. But no, it's just janky, a little janky at times, but that's charming.
No, it really is. It has that retro vibe to it, sure.
I thought actually for an older show, it was animated pretty well. Like, I thought the actual animation on the show for the time is the key part here was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues with the animation itself. But again, I don't think that this show is carried by its animation. This is definitely a show that is reliant on stories and
the source material
and the whole like world that it's built. The animation isn't really, that's not something that you would weigh heavily towards. You would weigh heavily more towards the story aspect of it in this case, because that's what they're aiming for.
I definitely agree with you, Cole.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
this show is it's carried by its characters for sure, and the world building.
Yeah, it's two mains.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's two mains. Yeah.
Sorry, I think we kind of skipped the sound and the voice acting.
we did.
We went straight into visuals. But that's fine. We were going to talk about
visuals. We can do it in any order.
Yeah. One thing I will say about sound.
We're moving into sound now?
Unless you guys had something else to say about the
I just wanted to basically say, we're
I'm
good.
I'm good with sound.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, okay. The score in this is phenomenal.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the score was really good. The music all fit everything really well. They did a good job of like theming it up. I love one thing I love, and I'm sure Cole definitely does too, because this is very like vintage sci-fi, is like the horns that come with vintage sci-fi, like the and then
it's
like stuff happens.
Very Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's very Star Wars. There was one theme specifically that I would hear and I would think, is this like a straight up rip off of the Star Wars theme? And then they would
Shazana actually said, she's like, what is it, the Star Wars music? Because like it's the one where it's like that, like almost like the, I want to say like Tatooine theme, but it's not.
The theme that I'm thinking of, well, maybe we could be talking about the same thing, but the theme that I'm thinking of specifically is kind of the action theme it sounded like in A New Hope when the TIE fighters were attacking the Millennium Falcon after they get out of the Death Star. But then it would do like the same phrasing for like 2 bars, and then it would change.
Yeah. I'm thinking whoever did the score for this show probably cribbed from Star Wars.
Oh, how could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not? But I mean, John Williams cribbed from.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Too. That's how it works.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a thing.
Yeah. The sound very good. You know what's not very good though?
Oh, here we go. Michael, dub or sub?
I tried. Okay, so here's what happened. I downloaded the dub because I was like, oh, I'll try the dub. I'm sure it's bad because it's like an old anime.
Yep.
Because old dubs are a different class from new dubs. You people who watch new dubs and say they're bad, you don't even know.
You don't even know what Michael's been through.
Watch Crest of the Stars and dub, then complain about the Rent a Girlfriend dub. I challenge you. When you've listened, this show's dub is absolutely horrible. Like, I honestly think everyone should have to listen to it just to like know how gifted they are with new dubs. Because like the characters all sound like they're reading like literally
From a
they
script?
No. Like of course they're reading from a script, but they literally sounds like they just like it's the first time they're seeing the script.
Like they just got the script and they're
like
doing their first read.
They just gave it to them. Like they're like, all right, here's your lines, and they're like,
right.
They threw it to them. They're like, you're on 3, 2, 1. And then
So like
they're
do a lot
saying-
of the sentences or lines have like a ton of question mark inflections to make sure like did I get that right?
No, not really.
So,
It's
like,
just there's
we need to get to the ship now before it leaves.
yeah. There's a lot of like something that they used to do a lot of where they made sure that how they delivered the line fit the mouth flaps perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll be talking and then they'll have weird pauses just to make sure it fits the mouth flaps. And it's like, yeah, you just say the line. And then that's one thing that I noticed with the sub actually, because after one episode of the dub, I switched to this. I watched 2 episodes actually of the dub because I downloaded it on my phone and I was
Because you're a masochist.
I was held hostage by it because I couldn't download more at work. Then I switched over to the sub and I was kind of actually a little put off. I don't know if you guys noticed this or if it was just by Crunchyroll acting weird, but did you notice that lips would move and then the line would come like half a beat late?
Yeah.
With a sub?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was weird. It was like throughout the entire thing, and I thought it was just maybe my phone, and then I watched it on my TV, and I'm like, oh no, it's still doing that.
I don't know if it was like because they were supposed to be speaking a different language or what. Like, yeah, it felt like it was
a beat late.
It felt like it was a dub of like a show that maybe it was an artistic choice. I don't know.
Yeah,
like as if the show was
supposed
as if the
to
show
be
was
all
originally
in
and then they re-recorded it in Japanese and then re-recorded it in very bad English.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange.
Japanese.
I don't know. I think it was all in Japanese. I think it was just an editing.
No, it wasn't all in Japanese because the opening bit is its own language.
Yeah. No, I mean like the lip flap part.
I will say one thing that just popped into my head in like episode 1 or 2. The intro itself and like the start of the show, they kind of establish that they're speaking a different language. They're speaking Baron or whatever it's called.
Baronia.
Yeah. But one of the characters is speaking.
One,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for Jay. I'm thanking Michael for Jay. One of the characters is speaking in English. And this is Jay, did you pick up on that?
Yes, Kay.
It's one of the best English in anime I've ever heard. It was very good.
Like I literally had to check. I was like, did I accidentally start watching the dub?
No, it was really good.
It was phenomenal.
I must have missed that because I don't remember that at all. It must have been in episode 2.
I think that was it was one of the first 2 episodes. Yeah,
it was. Go back and watch that.
It was when everybody was still speaking in the language in Baronia or whatever, and then one of the like enemy characters was speaking in English, which I thought was interesting. It was kind of establishing the different languages that were spoken by all of the different factions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna learn this language, guys. I don't know.
You're not.
No.
Actually, I looked at the wiki because I was like, there has to be a way to learn this language, and like there actually is a phonetic translation for each.
Oh, I'm sure.
Each
Klingon is its own language.
Yeah, like it's so cool.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you're gonna learn it, well, we learn it together.
I'm not learning it.
We're not learning it.
Have fun, nerds.
We're not gonna learn this one.
Shall we move? Does anyone have any more thoughts on sound and voice acting? I thought all the Japanese voice actors were pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
it's
nothing
retro,
standouts or anything.
it's retro anime, so like sometimes I feel like the acting itself in it is a little forced.
Yeah.
But I get that a lot with older anime.
I'm gonna connect the two topics right now.
Yeah.
From earlier. So I was watching earlier today, and I was looking at the credits when the ED was playing, and one of the names came up, and I was like, "That sounds familiar." So I Googled it,
Oh God!
and the voice actor
Oh,
who
no.
plays one of these characters is Pikachu.
Really?
What?
Yeah, Pikachu was
Oh.
in this anime.
Awesome.
There was one voice actor who's like still a pretty prominent voice actor. The one of the Barons.
Oh, Dio was also in this anime.
Yeah, him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
that's
the
awesome.
Baron from
Oh,
like episode 2 or 3 or something like that was Dio.
yes. And the old guy voice actor is the old guy voice actor that's in every anime that has an old guy in it. I forget his name right now, but it's him.
But again, it struck me as odd because this looks like such an old anime. Meanwhile, we still had like that bleed through from like a little bit of modern day
This
anime
came
voice
out
acting.
the same
Yeah.
time as Evangelion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
after Evangelion.
Yeah.
Evangelion came out in like 96. This came out in 99.
I thought Evangelion was 99.
No, I think it's mid 90s.
Oh, maybe I'm crazy.
Maybe.
But yeah, this came out same time as Pokemon
Maybe you're
too.
crazy. Yeah, it came, like Pokemon. But Pokemon even came out before this. This came out in 99.
This
Pokemon
is
started in like...
This is post Yu Yu Hakusho.
This is post
Yes.
Malone.
This is like years after Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho
Hakusho's
was
93.
92.
Yeah.
92.
It's got to be a stylistic choice, right?
Yeah.
Like it has to be. It's got to be harkening
think
back
so,
to
yeah.
like
It has to
Early
be.
Space Fortress
Gundam?
Macross or something. Or yeah, like 80s Gundam. Like Zeta or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of already in the spoiler-free thoughts. You guys have anything else you want to say before we kind of recommend it to people?
Let me just say, if you're a fan of world building, you're going to like this one. It's a good show.
It is a very good show. It is a good
I
show.
like this show. It is slow. It is definitely a slow burn, but like once it drags you in, once it drags you under the water, you're happy to be under the water. It really like the first 2 episodes, yeah, slow, and then like as it progresses and it unfolds itself, it's like, oh wow, this is like a very deep
Interconnected world.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, and the fact that the good guys are kind of the bad guys is interesting to me.
I thought that was so interesting too, because like it never feels like, okay, it's black and white, but there was like some gray area in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the main faction that our heroes are a part of is like the evil empire.
Yeah.
I thought that was one thing that Cole would really like about this show, because famously, like when you watch Star Wars, you are an Empire boy, right? And on this side, in this one, you are, and honestly, there's a lot of parallels between the Empire and this Empire.
Yeah.
They're kind of the same, honestly.
Yeah,
And
they're kind of fascistic a little bit, and
yeah, they want everything to be under their one command, and they want to rule over everything with their like military might and stuff. And I thought you'd really like that. Plus, they got cool uniforms, which is again, something that Cole always likes, a cool uniform.
cool imperial uniform. Yeah.
Watch the next
Where was I going with this?
convention comes around. He's cosplaying as
I
an
could see
Av
it.
soldier.
I could
I
see
don't know.
it.
It's just a cool take on
Yeah.
space opera.
Yeah,
Something that you don't usually see. Like
it's cool to see a show where it's set from people who are kind of they're the protagonists, but they're kind of the bad guys when you really like step back and like do
Look at it.
the tally.
the faction is the bad. Like
The faction is
The faction is the bad guys.
I wouldn't say
Our main
Lafiel
characters-
and Jinto are bad.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I thought that it was really cool. Like they're in that hotel room, and then there's like that news thing playing, and they're like,
Yeah, no spoilers, Jay. Stop it.
we'll talk. Don't worry. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Who would you recommend this to? Assuming you guys don't have any other spoiler-free thoughts.
No,
I'd recommend this to Cole. And people like Cole.
Yeah.
yeah. I'd recommend this to people who love world building, like slow burn stories that like they're not like, you know, blitzing through, but they take their time to establish everything. If you like classic retro anime or sci-fi and things like that,
Yeah,
I think Mike summed it up.
definitely.
If Cole likes it, if you like what Cole likes, you'll like it.
If you like slow burns that are like very methodical and everything like really is clearly very well thought out and the world building is like elite level, and if you like things like vintage Star Trek and Doctor Who and like what's the other old sci-fi series?
Star Wars?
Not Star Wars. No, this is not for Star Wars fans.
No, I'd say
no.
I'll let you finish your thought.
No, Star Wars is like an action movie set in space. It's like and this is like full hard sci-fi. This is hard sci-fi. If you like
I'll let you
dry
finish.
as sci-fi, this is for you. I think I'm done. I don't know.
Or if you like things like Gundam and things like that.
No.
If you like old
Gundam's-
school Gundam. If you like some of that drier Gundam stuff.
Yeah,
Or
really.
things like Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Yes, that's the elephant in the room. If you like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, this is
Probably for you.
Probably for you. I don't know if it's a step forward or a step back or a parallel stealth.
Step to the side, probably.
This one is the definition of space opera. This is a fairy tale in space. We have space elves.
Let's go, space elves!
It like you said, it is the most space opera I've ever seen a space opera be.
And that's why I would say if you like Star Wars, you might like it, because Star Wars is the quintessential space opera.
I just think if you like, for me, I like the action of Star Wars.
That's
and
the
like
thing.
the dramaticness, and it's very like dripping in character.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a little drier. Like, you have to
this
like the
isn't
drier
quite-
stuff.
This not to. Technically, this isn't sci-fi. This is a space opera. But it's paced like a sci-fi. It's a lot of like mumbo jumbo, like none of this is real. Like Star Trek tries to be as real as it can. This leans more towards the Star Wars side, where it's very
science fantasy,
fairy tales.
Yeah.
But yeah, Legend of the Galactic Heroes would obviously be the main parallel between these two.
Yeah.
In terms of like, it's a political
drama,
war,
space opera thing. Yeah.
And Gundam's an apt one too, because it just feels like a Gundam show too, because it's animated by the same people, probably the same exact people who just finished doing Gundam Wing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so,
that too. Yeah, it's if you like that older Gundam, original series Gundam, or like Zeta or Double Zeta or something like that.
If you like anime that Cole likes and that kind of thing,
if you identify as Cole, you like this anime.
If you're in the Cole camp, you're gonna like this one.
Legitimately, the reason I suggested this show is because I wanted Cole to watch it.
Yeah, this was your way of forcing Cole to finally watch it.
This was my way of forcing Cole to watch Crest of the Stars. And was I right, Cole? We'll find out.
In the spoilers?
Spoiler-free thoughts, I think I've already said. I like this. Yeah.
So successful is what you're saying.
So far successful, yeah.
Okay,
Let's spoiler warning here. Spoiler warning.
Okay.
Big spoily
Jay,
warnings.
Tell the people about the spoily warnings.
Okay, this is your official spoiler warning. If you want to go watch the show, which, like we said, you should probably go watch it. It is pretty good.
Or don't.
It's pretty good.
Or don't. I mean, if you don't like that kind of thing, then that's for you. But go watch the show, come back, or don't. If you don't care about spoilers, we're about to talk spoilers. So let's talk spoilers.
What a stance to take, Jay. Go watch it or don't. You know what? No, like I would suggest watching this. I think it's worth watching as an anime fan. Like it's definitely it should be.
I agree. Yeah. I just think like if you're that kind of person that's like my show needs to go, pacing needs to be blitzkrieg fast.
If you're a Trigger fan, this will not be the show
not
for you. Mike's eyebrows just shot off his face.
Well, should we talk some plot and world building? The thing this show does best.
Let's talk some plot and
world building part.
Do we want to touch on the OVA a little bit? I know Jay didn't really have time to watch it.
Yeah. I watched it first. I think you also watched it first, eh, Cole?
I watched it first as well. Yeah.
Which you know what? I'm gonna quickly interject here. I have a bone to pick with you, Jay.
Okay.
You picked a show.
Yeah.
That if we usually review 12 episode anime on this show.
Mm-hmm.
This show had an episode 0.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it had a double length final episode,
which was episode 13.
13. You effectively got me to watch 3 extra episodes.
This was essentially a 15-episode anime.
Yeah. So effectively now, because Jay has grievously injured me, I'm opening it up. We can review 24-episode shows. I'm making an executive decision.
Big announcement here.
An executive decision that we already discussed and decided upon.
No, Michael decided that now.
Way to shatter the lore there, Jay. But yeah, the world building's awesome in this show. I would agree with that.
The world building's awesome. Yeah. It's so... that's the other maybe recommendation I might say. Very, very, very very tentatively as a recommendation, Lord of the Rings, kind of, in terms of the terms of the cool world building.
If you're a
the pacing
huge
of it.
nerd, you'll love it.
If you're a massive geek,
yeah, no, honestly, if you're a massive nerd who loves like lore and like going to the wiki and reading about stuff and figuring out what the hell just happened or what they were talking about, yeah, this show's for you.
Oh man,
if you want to argue about how ab is pronounced, whether it's ab or av,
exactly.
It's av.
If you're the type of
show,
person,
they call it ab.
If you're the type of person who just says "Who cares?" this is not the show for you.
Yeah. Which is Mike's way of saying I don't care. It's not for me.
I'm leading up to that. The other thing, I thought this show did a good job of like showing or just doing things and just assuming. That's one thing that I feel like shows don't do is where they just show you something or just say something and then they don't bother explaining it. Anime does a lot of over explaining a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like the scene where they're at that Count's place and they order like drinks or whatever. Yeah. And they just say the name of the drinks and you're like, I don't know what that is. And then the drink comes and you're like, oh, I guess that's what that is.
That's a drink.
That's a drink.
It's a drink.
Yep, clearly.
Or
but
like
they have a good way of explaining that. Lafiel says like, I don't drink while I'm on duty, so I'm going to order this. So now we know this is a non-alcoholic drink. Right, like little world, like it's good context
clues.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
like I liked how like when he made his order or he made his comment about how Lafiel ordered her drink, the maid just like glares at him and you're like, okay, there's something going on here.
I like how he instantly, and I like how he comments. He's like, I'm probably not getting my drink.
I'm not getting my drink, am I? Yeah.
Yeah.
What else am I going to say in this one? I thought the ships. Oh no, sorry. Like the ships and all like the world building around like the factions was kind of, it could have benefited. This show could have probably been 24 episodes. It feels like they just kind of like had 12 episodes and then just were like, oh crap, we need more time. But like I could have used some more like backstory and explaining of like the structure of things a little bit. I don't know. I could have. It was a little lacking.
What I could have used was them to turn the brightness up just a touch. Could have just brightened everything up just a little bit so I could tell what the hell was going on in space battles.
Yeah,
it was so dark.
Yeah.
No clue. The space battles they had no idea what was happening. The other thing I didn't
They're like, we're in subspace now and we got to wait for the other people to come into our subspace. What the hell is going on in these space battles?
Yeah.
Wait, our subspaces are merging. What?
The other thing too is like
the subspaces are merging.
The world building kind of, it did a little too much, honestly, of the show Don't Tell, where like sometimes it was like you're sitting there and you're like, okay, wait, there's police in this part now, there's the army in this part now, there's the empire in this part. What's happening?
That's the kind of thing I was thinking. Like I feel like this is the part where you go like, okay, the novel probably explained a bit more than
you can tell this is based on a novel. The show definitely didn't pander to its audience at all. But sometimes I need a little pandering. Sometimes I need you to help me out a little bit.
Yeah, give me like at least a crutch sometimes.
How did people watch this in 99? Like at least I had like the wiki for Crest of the Stars, right?
Yeah.
Like unless you read the novel,
you had no idea
how
what
would
was
you
going
know
on.
what the hell was going on?
You just assume. I don't know.
You just watch it. Because, hey, it's fun. There's elves.
I guess so, yeah. Elves.
Yeah, you got your space elves, man.
Were there any
space elves?
Were there any plot points that really really stood out to you guys?
So, I really like this when Jinto and Lafiel first met and he asks her for her name. I love that moment because, like,
I knew you would.
Because, like, she gets excited and you're like, okay, you immediately understand she's never been asked her name before. Like, there's something going on that makes...
I like that, too, for it's the same reason, but ultimately because it kind of establishes what... he asks her what her name is and she gets excited, right?
Yeah.
That leads to why is she so excited?
Exactly.
It leads to like what's going on here? What about her is leading to this? I already knew because I watched episode 0 that she was
exactly
the royalty.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I'm gonna actually be able to be the downer here.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a little like overblown in the anime. Like he's the only person who never like didn't acknowledge that she was royalty instantly, so instantly she's in love with him and wants him by her side for the rest of the show.
No, I don't think it was.
He literally says at one point, he says, this is how I can tell she loves me. He literally says that in the show.
No.
That was a joke. That was a sarcastic comment to the old guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
He basically like said like your boyfriend and girlfriend, right? And they're like, and he's like, no, that's not how it is at all.
Yeah, I like this because
the relationship was so slow burn.
They're a guy and a girl, and they're not
friends.
really like in a relationship at all. I like that scene in kind of talking about what Michael's talking about, where he has kind of this daydream of her like
she comes up to him and gives him a hug,
embracing him, and then it like cuts out of it, and she's like, "Oh, you're okay? Okay, cool."
Yeah,
and then he's like, "See, see how in love with me she is? Like she doesn't care that I'm fine."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I did have a train of thought, but no, it's gone. Sorry. I like that plot. Maybe it's a bit of a cliche, but I like the whole like plot of we establish the two characters, they're on like a mission, and then they have to like separate from everyone else, and then they're on their own like mission. That happens all the time, but I don't know. Something about it this time just felt very like...
No, it works.
I liked
fresh.
it too because it felt like the world didn't just revolve around the main two.
Yeah.
You know, it helped accentuate that there was a bigger world than just the two of them.
I especially liked it too because it actually like took them away from the first 4 episodes. Like the first 4 episodes were really slow for me. After watching those first 4 episodes where they're like still, I'm like, holy crap, they're still in the academy.
It's gonna take a long time.
I was genuinely, I'm concerned. I'm like, this is gonna be a long 14 and a half
they
episodes.
never even made it to the academy. They were just on the ship to the academy.
Yeah, but at the start of the show, you're like starting to get concerned. You're like, is this going to be like a space school thing?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's not. It subverts your expectation.
We got time skips right over that shit.
I liked it. That's
good.
End. Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, don't worry about the school stuff. This is all space battles and character drama.
Yeah.
So I will say the plot, like you guys predicted, you're right. I thought it wasn't as slow as I still was able to watch it and like keep up, but I definitely found myself, I'd be like reaching for my phone or kind of like just sitting there like, oh, I'm bored.
Yeah.
So just because like that's the way my brain works, I get bored with like these super slow paced things.
Yeah.
And it's not incredibly slow. Like it's not Blade Runner slow, but it's slow.
Shots fired at Blade.
Well,
one of the greatest movies ever made.
I was going to say Ghost in the Shell as well. But
wow, shots at Ghost in the Shell. One of the greatest movies ever made.
According to Cole.
Mike, that's my favorite movie, says Cole.
Yeah, says Cole. Yeah.
No, and the other thing I liked was too, we established like a mentor character in spoilers, Lafiel's mom.
Well, we're in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
Spoilers for spoilers. And she just gets killed off. I mean, I didn't like that because I like that character a lot, but I like that, you know, there's consequences in the world.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, they show you stakes right away, right?
And that whole thing regarding her mom, like that all contributed to the world building as well. Like the fact that they were all like, some people were born not through love, but just like through like science, and some were the result of love.
If you watched episode 0, you would know.
You would know, but I mean,
Jay
you know,
Jay didn't watch it.
I didn't, but it's not a part of the same series. It's a different thing. It even shows on AniList.
But on Crunchyroll, it's listed as episode 0. So Jay made us watch a longer show and then didn't watch the longer show part.
No, the reason I did that is because Cole was like, watch episode 0 at the end because I'm curious as to how...
I didn't think you'd be watching this right up until we hit record.
Yeah, I kind of...
He always does.
Don't blame this. Don't blame this on me, Jay.
Yeah. Well, no... Okay.
Anyway, we need to move on. We're running long. Any more thoughts on the plot and world building before we go into characters?
No, I think
it's good.
It's good.
Debatable. Let's go to characters.
The plot and the world build. Come on.
The world building is like the best part of the show. It's phenomenal.
As I'm cackling like a villain here.
Mike has said in an earlier episode that he likes to like stand in the middle of people bickering. But now he's the one causing the...
He's standing over us.
He's standing on the other side, like...
We're in the wrestling ring. We're in the wrestling ring. Michael's standing up on the ropes, cackling down at us.
No, that's what I like. I like to be looking down on the battle and poking it with a stick.
But there's no battle here.
You're
the
enemy.
starting
the battle. Cole and I are talking about how much we like this show, and you're going, I don't know about that.
I don't know. The world building sucks.
Have I just gone
You said
full
that.
heel?
That was from Michael said that.
Anyway, characters. There's only really 2 interesting characters in this show.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of. I feel like this series needs more time to establish the other characters more, because Lafiel and Jinto get most of the development and screen time.
Yeah.
That
again, I mean, there are mains.
It's fine.
They are our main duo.
They are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like their dynamic.
I like their chemistry together and the and how their relationship develops, because it's not just like they meet, they fall in love, they're together, now they're dating, but like no, they're friends.
To be super real with you though, Jinto is kind of like a piece of plain white toast. Let's be real.
I don't know.
He's pretty plain.
I kind of like how he's like very self-deprecating and
a little
sarcastic.
Shinji-y. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit.
But he's not like so.
He's not depressed.
Like he's not a sad boy. He's just like that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's just very like, oh yeah, and I don't know what's going on.
He also like can be a bit sarcastic, like when he said to the thing like, "See how in love with me she is."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
what was the deal with him and his buddy there at the beginning?
I don't know.
Honestly,
really
that was weird. Like they just introduce it and then never mind. Like what?
That's kind of part of the show. Is like there's a lot of things that are just like shown quickly, and then they just expect you to figure out exactly what they meant, and then they move on, and you're like, wait, what was that?
I guess they what they're trying to do is maybe establish that like he's moving on from his old life, and how his old life he didn't really like tell everybody the truth. So now that everybody knows, everybody's kind of leaving him on his own as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's kind of like an outcast. Walk away until and he didn't look back, but I stared at him until he was out of my sight, and I'm like, that's weird. What's going on here? But anyway,
they took that out of the novel, and it's like, listen, we
didn't need that.
We didn't need that, or I need that more,
a little bit more
fleshed out.
I think if they had fleshed it out a bit more, then it would have been better.
I like how Jinto too. He kind of just he just rolls with the punches. It's just whatever's going.
He gets
whatever's
shot.
going on. He just whatever.
He gets shot, and he's like, whatever.
it's all good.
I remember. I like the scene when Lafiel hands him a gun. She's like, just shoot up and down. He's like, okay, and then he just starts firing.
I can do that.
Yeah. Here, get on this mechanical horse and ride through the city. And he's like, sure, why not?
This talking mechanical horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're in a fight for our lives, and we could die. Okay.
Whatever.
You're gonna be sucked up through the vacuum of space, but it's just I'm gonna try and make it as quick and painless as it can for you. Sure, let's go with it.
Yeah.
Jinto is he's just along for the ride.
He's plain white toast, just along for the ride. Yeah.
He's the guy that helps you get into the story and your eyes, basically.
The most interesting thing for me in this show is the characters of the Ob. I don't know. I could just watch basically this whole show if it was just them explaining the Ob and how they interact in the world. They're so interesting.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure.
I think Mike identifies with them a lot and how they have no emotions and
It's true.
Mike, that was a shot at you.
And how they take
supposed
everything.
To be upset about that one. He's still learning, everybody.
I'll figure it out one day.
He'll become a full-fledged human someday.
Okay, start having more takes so I can poke more fun at you guys.
No, the Ob is great. Yeah. And specifically, Lafiel is great.
Lafiel, my girl. Yeah.
There's one other Ob that I quite enjoyed as well.
There's a couple other Obs that I like.
There are
her
a couple.
Her mom
was good.
Her mom. Yeah.
And then who's the commander of that? Spore was awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was awesome. Yeah. And how like she's just bored and she just likes teasing her like subordinates, but
she's just like kind of mean. I knew Cole would like her because he likes those like Nagatoro types where they're just kind of mean to you a little bit.
Cole just wants a girl to be mean to him.
Yeah.
They're all kind of mean.
Yeah, like
all
we said before,
kind of mean.
Well, yeah,
Step
I mean,
on
like
me,
they don't.
Energy.
They're like Mike. They don't have any emotions.
The Spore. I don't know her first name. I just remember Spore as her.
Is that
her,
Shazana?
like, last name? Yeah, she has mommy energy.
Step on me, mommy energy.
Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I like that dude. Who's the Duke or whatever that tries to like kidnap them or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
he's
I
kind of
like him
interesting.
too.
Kind of from like
Dio.
Yeah, like
Space Dio.
like a mustache twirling villain standpoint or whatever. That was kind of.
I liked him too. Yeah, I thought that arc was probably the most cool.
I agree. That was my favorite arc, I'd say.
Yeah, just like they had to figure out how to get out, and they kind of turned these maids of this Duke against him.
Yeah. Who's your best boy and girl?
What I will say, a contender for best boy is that like Commander.
Commander, which
that
one?
Like overall commander of that battle towards the end.
Oh, yes.
That guy was so funny to me. He was such a doofus.
Yeah, I like the really confident obs. They're really funny.
Yeah, and he's just like, let's do this, and then one of the other ones is like, no, that's not a good idea, and he's like, yes, of course, let's not do that.
Who's the guy from Futurama?
Zap Brannigan.
Yeah, it's very Zap Brannigan.
He was very Zap Brannigan. Yeah. But I mean, best boy and best girl for me, obviously, are mains. Like,
yeah.
Who else could you go with? Strong props to that Zap Brannigan ob and this poor girl.
And Lafiel's mom. Like, I mean,
Lafiel's mom is great. I loved her too, but Lafiel
and Jinto.
Yeah, for me.
I think
that's probably going to be all three of us.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out. Jay?
Jay's picking Lafiel. Are you kidding me?
I'm picking Lafiel. Come on. And then Jinto, obviously. Yeah.
See, I feel like I'm in the minority here because I have less positive things to say about the show. I didn't love Jinto as a character. And I also didn't love Lafiel really either. I don't know. I'm going to go Spoor as my best girl.
Okay.
Spoon or whatever her name is.
Spoon.
Why, do you want her to spoon you?
Hey.
Yeah. Jay, I'm married.
Mike's married. I'm not.
Cole's gonna get spooned. Yeah. And then best boy, I'm gonna go
Zap Brannigan.
No, I'm gonna go with the dude who imprisoned his grandma. No, I'm gonna go with the old dude, the dad or whatever that was in prison.
The dad. Honestly, he was good. I liked him.
I'm gonna say him. Just because Jinto is a little too milquetoast for me. I'm just gonna go.
I get the milquetoast argument, but like I feel like he's got enough sarcastic personality that he kind of separates himself from like other milquetoast protagonists.
I kind of agree with that, Cole.
I guess I identify with Jinto. Like he's just riding the wave, man. He's just going along with whatever's happening. He knows he's in over his head, and he's just whatever.
Yeah, like I remember when they're like in the early episodes, he's like learning about manners and things, and he's like, "There's 12 pages just on how to handle yourself at lunch."
Yeah, that was cool. And Lafiel, I mean, we didn't really talk about her that much, but
no,
I liked her. She's like, your typical spunky. Is she a tsundere? Kind of.
She's like, she has tsundere flashes, but not enough for me to really like her too much as a character.
She's not really a tsundere. Like
she's not a tsundere because I think Jinto likes her.
Yeah.
But I don't think Lafiel has any feelings towards Jinto, and she just likes him as a friend because he's
the first person that treats her like a person. Yeah.
And I think that's why you don't really get the tsundere energy from her. She just kind of is like,
maybe more like kudere.
I don't think there's any dere there at all. I think that she's just spunky,
I
sarcastic
think that,
character towards him.
She wants to be like, with him, like not with him, but like
she's
with him physically.
She's his friend
for like as long as possible because
until
she does
the end of the books where I'm sure they get together.
Yeah.
If we're gonna, can we talk spoilers for the books?
No,
because I did read about it.
Because there are other seasons, but the books are still going on.
They are, but they haven't released a new book since like 2006 or something like that. Like,
I can't wait to get those books.
Yeah. Ending thoughts. Let's move out of the characters and let's go into our ending thoughts.
You know what? Let's start with Mike because he'll have Mike hasn't had a chance to say his negative stuff. Everything he said is kind of a positive. So I want to hear Mike's negative thoughts.
Mike, destroy this show.
The problem is I don't have any super negative thoughts. I just don't have a lot of really positive thoughts about this show. It was a little too slow and boring for me, but it wasn't bad, if that makes sense. Like, there was enough there to keep me at least watching and interested. I think if I didn't have to watch this for the podcast, I would have dropped it and not made it through the entire thing. Just because it's just, I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea.
Those first few episodes are tough.
Honestly, I was into it just because, like, I was taking in all the world building and all the exposition and all that.
Yeah, Lafiel.
Those were the most Lafiel heavy episodes too. There's that one scene where it was like her walking or something. I'm like, oh god, this is Jay's bread and butter right here.
When they were describing Lafiel's like death smile, I could imagine Jay like just so like, oh my god, give me that death smile.
Yes, it was a little. I want to say too cheesy, but that's wrong because I like cheesy stuff. It was cheesy in the wrong way for me. It was a little corny in the wrong way for me, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But it's just because I'm just not a hard sci-fi kind of guy. I'm not a space opera kind of guy,
what?
really.
I thought I was the not sci-fi guy.
This isn't sci-fi. This is space opera.
Right. It is.
I like
sci-fi.
space, but I like it to be exciting space, and this just was not exciting space.
Yeah.
So
it leaned a little too far into the boring sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From the space opera side.
Yeah. What are your guys' ending thoughts?
No, I want to hear your rating, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, we rate it now. Okay.
Rate it now.
I'm rating it now. We rate our shows from a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being protagonist, 4 being supporting. Basically, what character is this show? Then background, henchman, and then antagonist. And I'm going to go with a background character.
Okay. I thought you might go with henchman, but
perfectly middle of the road.
Just 6 out of 10.
I can appreciate what it does well, but it's just not what I want. You know, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jasif?
I feel like you guys think I like Lafiel much more than I actually do.
What's not to like?
She's a
cute
don't
elf
get me wrong.
girl.
Don't get me wrong. I do like Lafiel, but what I prefer about her is seeing her relationship with Jinto and how like it's not just like the typical like, oh, they're together and she wants to be with him, but he's like oblivious to the whole thing. But like they feel like they start out as friends and then it slowly gets into the like, you know, are they going to get together or whatever? Yeah. And it feels a lot more slow burn. And speaking of slow burn, I did really like the world building and the slow burn of how all that kind of trickled in. Mm-hmm. The animation that was kind of or like the visual, but I mean it's 90 or it's an early show, so I mean whatever. But I will give it, because I don't want to talk for 5 years, a supporting.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, it's fair.
I feel like that's fair. Yeah. For me, I mean, obviously this scratch itches more for me than you two, obviously. Mm-hmm. World building's great. I like the characters. Jinto's a bit milquetoast, but like he was milquetoast in the right way for me. The visuals were great for me. The one thing I will say is I didn't really have a chance to talk about it. I found the voice acting a little weaker.
Yeah,
maybe?
I kind of understand that.
But I mean, I just chalked that up to being old.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it.
The plot, the world building, the characters for me were all really good. Characters were entertaining. They all had their own like personalities. That being said, do I give it a protagonist or a support? It's a supporting character for me. I wouldn't say that it's a 10 out of 10. This is definitely an 8. An 8 for me.
I feel like you'd be lying to yourself if you said this is a 10 out of 10.
No,
if that makes sense.
No.
That's kind of how I felt about it. Like I was debating giving it a protagonist, but at the end of the day, like there are just a couple things that
there's definite issues with the show itself, but I think the issues that it has aren't really things that the show needs to do well. What it wants to do well is its world building and its plot and its main characters, and I think that it does that well enough to offset its kind of funky animation and off model characters and its voice acting's a little weak. I feel like it offsets those enough for me.
Yeah.
All right.
To say it's a positive.
So
supporting.
Final score is basically like a supporting character that's maybe not the best supporting character, but you might forget their name once in a while.
Yeah.
Sounds like Crest of the Stars supporting character.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
When I was filling in the my best boy. I wrote Prisoner's Dad because I don't remember his name. I don't remember. So yeah, that
I think they
guy.
just called him like Old Baron.
Maybe
or something like that. Yeah,
Former
like in the
Baron,
credits, his name was just like former Baron or something.
Yeah,
it's likable enough, but you don't really remember it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That being said, are you guys going to continue it?
No.
I'm gonna read the light novel because I am, now that I've watched the anime, I am so interested in seeing how the light novel goes.
Yeah,
I will say it ended strong enough that I'm debating it. If you would have asked me that at episode 6, I would have said hell no. If that,
Mm-hmm. I've started Banner of the Stars.
Of course,
I think, Mike, you might like it more. It definitely leans more into the
more
war
action-y.
No, what's the show that I said? Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, kind of that more war action.
Yeah, I kind of thought that like this show.
We gotta stop.
Hold on. I just want to say that I feel like this show's like a prelude to the war, and then Banner might go more into it. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Crest is the prelude. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should wrap this up, and I will begin the wrap up by saying thank you for listening to another episode. Oh yeah.
Stop it there.
Okay.
Because we're doing something new now, which you guys both forgot about, which is why I was trying to get us to move quicker.
Sorry. Yes, I did forget about it.
I am next for what show we will review on the Anime Protagonist podcast. It is my turn to force you guys to watch a show.
Mm-hmm.
And the show I have selected, it aired in 2015.
Okay.
I think I know what show it is.
What's your guess? How could you possibly know?
Everyone knows there was only 2 shows that aired that year.
What's the show called? Death Parade?
No.
Oh.
That's actually a good guess, though. I did debate that one.
That would be a good guess, yeah.
Yeah. It is 13 episodes plus an OVA by Studio PA Works.
Oh, is it Magus Bride?
No.
Okay.
That's 24 episodes. It is an assign-in demographic.
Okay, I'm into it.
The name of the show that we will be reviewing on the Anime Protagonist podcast is Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
And what inspired me to pick this one is when we got the question quite a while back now where someone asked us to talk about it, and Jay completely forgot what the show was about, and me and Cole hadn't seen it. So I was like, oh, there you go.
There we go.
And I actually thought it was 12 episodes, but
I just remember 13. Superpowers and a very cocky protagonist or something.
So yeah,
nice.
Stay
Michael
tuned.
Love it.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Cole, get us out of here.
Okay, now can I say thank you for listening to the Anime Protagonist podcast?
Yes.
That you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that good stuff at Anipro Pod. That's ANIPROPOD. Can I say that now?
Yeah.
Okay. You can also follow me on Twitter. That's Anipro Cole, ANIPROCOLE. Mike, what's your Twitter?
My Twitter is @GrittyGundam, GrittyGundam. You can check that out, and you can also check out Jay somewhere. Tell us where, Jay.
You can find me at JGaredian, JayGaredian, and go find us everywhere else on our link tree. That's linktree.e/Anipro.
That's my job. That's my job. Don't take my job away from me. Like, review, subscribe, no matter where you're listening to us, whether it's on Spotify or YouTube, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. Tell a friend about us and come to our Discord. We're so lonely over there.
So lonely.
We only have a few people that we talk to now. Why don't you come visit us anymore?
Yeah, that's Cole's impression of his mom when he tells her that she's not coming home for Christmas.
Yeah, links to all of that stuff is in our link tree, like Jay said. That's linktree.ee/AniproPod. And we will be back next week. But until we are back next week, we say as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Please leave us a review. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.